Hello everyone, it's Jamarl Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. So Bernie Sanders will have an online town hall discussing Medicare for all. They're expecting numbers larger than what he would get if he was going on cable, something like CNN, which is pretty badass. That's actually fucking amazing. I mean, you're in a situation now where the internet has not just rivaled, but has to some degree surpassed network television. Now, I know this doesn't follow for everything, so fair enough. But at the end of the day, the people who are going to be watching him, in numbers, at least by their estimates, is going to be more than what he would get if he went on network television. Let's take a look at the article. This is the Washington Post. Sanders will host healthcare town hall aiming for online audience bigger than cable. Senator Bernie Sanders, who has become one of the Democratic Party's leading surrogates on leading sheepdogs on television, is striking out with his own multimedia special, one that will run online with no major network behind it. We expect that we'll have a larger viewing audience for this live stream than we'd have if we were run on CNN, Sanders said in an interview. That's revolutionary. You can have this discussion even if owners of the big media companies don't want to have it. On the evening of January 23rd, Sanders will host a 90-minute national town hall on proposals for universal Medicare, streamed by the progressive video outlets Now This, Attention, and the Young Turks. The idea came to him after appearing on CNN-hosted debate and forums on healthcare and taxes experiences he'd mostly enjoyed, and hit a wall. I talked to very well-known TV journalists and said, I think it'd be really great to have a town hall on single payer. You can design it however you want, said Sanders. He said, Bernie, that's a great idea. We're running up the food chain. I never heard back. That kicked off a conversation with new media outlets, all of which have worked with Sanders in the past. Now This have recorded a popular short videos with Sanders talking about his 2016 campaign platform. The Young Turks had guided him in Los Angeles studio for lengthy interviews. The January 23rd special, which will be streamed from an auditorium in Congressional Visitor Center, will use a network streaming services to show Sanders talking to audience with online questions about how single payer could be implemented in the United States. The mainstream media continues to ignore how income inequality and the lack of decent health care devastates the middle class, said Anna Kasparian, co-host of the Young Turks flagship series. I like this. I mean, ultimately, if you're going to get lefty stuff into the public consciousness, well, you may need to bypass the main media networks that don't necessarily want lefty stuff into the public consciousness. So I love this particular idea. The thing is, you still need the capacity to reach people who are beyond these lefty networks. Meaning you're going to get people from Attention, Young Turks, and everything else, but that's a particular demographic. You still need, unfortunately, outlets like CNN and MSNBC and Fox and this type of stuff. There is an older audience that watches those shows that you need to get their eyes on. That being said, at the very least, this is still pretty damn good. And having a large viewership is having a large viewership. So fair enough. Fair enough. I may stream this myself, actually. Yeah, maybe I'll think about that. I'll think about that for throwing that out there like that. But no, good on Sanders, man. Good on Sanders. Alright, I'll leave it at that. This was just a heads up. What day is he going to have this on? This is going to be January 23rd, 90-minute town hall. Okay, that's somewhat non-specific. This doesn't necessarily say what time on January 23rd. How do you give that without... Yeah, that's... How do you give a date without a time? I mean, okay, a 90-minute town hall on January 23rd in the evening. Whatever the fuck that means. Whatever that means. But it'll be on the Young Turks, Now This, and Attention. So I would say keep tabs on those networks to see what time they're going to run this particular thing. All right, guys. Have a good one.